mind.
Man, I wanted to get into things to protect yourself from this flu. Does Dr. Blaylock think it's all hype? Does the vaccine cause a hemorrhagic response? Do you get more sun to get vitamin D? Is that the answer? And we'll, right before he leaves us, we'll ask him that briefly, but let's go to calls. Tony in Jersey, you're on the air, Tony.
Good afternoon, Alex. Dr. Blaylock, how are you doing?
Hello.
I have a couple of questions about the swine flu shot, also, about the health care, but I'd like to make two comments, if I may, Alex.
Okay, that's two questions and two comments. Make it quick, please.
Okay. Number one, I do have some very interesting things that I'd like to discuss with you at a later time. I have your number. I'll get in touch with you.
Okay.
Second, I've never gone public with this, and Big Brother probably is not going to like it. In fact, I may even be in fear of my life.
Tony, please. That's a big preface. Just tell us, sir. We don't have a lot of time.
Okay. In 91, I tried to join the military. I went through the MEPS process where, it's the Military Entrance Process Center, where they give you shots and take your physical and all that stuff. Well, about 2 weeks afterwards, they called me into the office and told me that I had the AIDS virus. I am not gay. I have never had a blood transfusion. I do not do drugs of any kind.
Yeah, but about a third of the time they give you a false positive, sir. Right.
Well, anyway, it turns out that that's what it is. And after research and everything, I know where I got it, And so my question is, number one, with someone in that situation, how is the swine flu vaccine and the health care going to affect them?
All right, listen, I appreciate your call. He's saying if he has an HIV virus, well, what will this do?
Well, if you have an HIV virus, you shouldn't have any vaccine. Number one, they don't work. Number two is if you have the vaccine and you're immunocompromised, you run a very high risk of developing autoimmune disease. So you're in a special category where most people's evaluation, you should not be vaccinated, and it's not going to protect you. So that would be my opinion.
Doctor, what about this spin we hear that before you're not supposed to vaccinate pregnant women, but now, that's the group that needs it first? Is that some attempt to make the vaccine look safe, or why pregnant women first?
Well, it was known some time ago that women who develop the flu during certain periods of their pregnancy have a very high incidence of their children becoming either autistic or developing schizophrenia when they get older. The incidence rate is high as 7 to 12-fold higher. It was thought that was due to the flu virus getting into the baby's nervous system. The studies have since shown that it's not that at all. It's the fact that mother's immune system is activated, and it's the immune cytokines that enter the baby that produce the damage. Well,
so the same information you discovered decades ago is now admitted in the medical journals.
Sure. And when you do this vaccination process, what you're doing, you're repeating that. You're massively increasing the pregnant woman's immune system cytokines, raising her baby's risk of autism or developing schizophrenia.
And is that because the baby own immune system attacks its nerves, or?
Yeah, it activates the immune system in the baby's brain, the microglia, producing this immunoexcitotoxic reaction. But that's been well demonstrated. They even know which cytokine does it, interleukin-6. So
they know this. They know this,
oh, yeah.
And they're telling women take it.
I know, and to me, it's just, I think it's the most insane thing you could possibly do. This has a very low communicability, this virus. And so a woman's chance during pregnancy at that particular age developing flu is pretty small, but if you give them all the vaccine, then it's 100%. They're all vaccinated. And the real dangerous thing about this vaccine, they talk about giving 3 vaccines in 21 days, which if you know neuroscience, that is particularly dangerous because the intense immune activation in the brain, the immunoexcitotoxicity in the mother's brain, and particularly in the developing baby's brain.
Is that called a cascade?
Well, it's a cytokine cascade, and what happens is that the cells produce so many cytokines, these destructive immune chemicals. It starts destroying brain connections and making the brain develop abnormally. And they think that's what produces the autism.
Which eugenicist Bertrand Russell said, we will give children injections to brain damage them to make them part of the servant class. But I bet the government's just idiots. They just so happen to want to target kids and women and people with something that brain damages them. I mean, this is just amazing. Mike, Andrew, Jeremy, Pat, we're going to all your calls. Final segment, Dr. Russell Blaylock. His website's BlaylockReport.com. He's got books, DVDs, everything available there.
We're on the march.